Okay. All right. Hello. My name is Chris Allen, and I'm going to be your geometry teacher. The first thing I'd like to start off with is basically telling you uh, there is no real homework today. So if you're worried about homework today, that's not going to happen. I'm pretty excited about being here. Anyone else excited to be back in school? Okay, good. And if you're not, that's okay too. I think I dropped one of those. Could you put that maybe? So the desks are numbered. So what I'm going to try to do is keep the different days, students sitting in different desks. So I'm going to try to keep it as sanitary or whatever is possible. So thanks for sitting in the assigned seats. Kind of the agenda for today is right here. You got your seat set, so that's good. I got to meet each of you, so that's good. I'm going to do a real quick, brief intro about myself, just so you guys can know a little bit about me. Then we're going to, did you guys bring your Chromebooks? Go and get your Chromebook out. If for some reason you forgot your Chromebook, it's okay. You can do this later. If you want to use your phone because you don't have your Chromebook, that's fine too. I just want to make sure everyone knows how to get to stuff. I want to make sure you can get to the online text. And also, I've got to show you a video. Did they show you a video last period of school? What was the video about last period? Hallway stuff? Okay. I think this one's restrooms this period. But anyways, so I'm going to do this little presentation here. And I'm going to try to stand up towards the front of the class so that I'm actually in the... Ooh, that's actually interesting. Okay, I'm going to stand over here. So there's my picture. I'm Mr. Chris Allen. So my professional background, I taught 4 years at Southport Middle School. By chance, have any of you ever been to Southport Middle School? Okay. Coached football there. It was before I had kids. So I have I'll get to that in just a second. And this is actually my 20th year here at Parameridian High School. This year I'm teaching, of course, you guys know I'm teaching geometry, but I'm also teaching AP Calculus and AP Calculus BC. So my roles here, obviously I teach math. I'm also the math department chair. So I oversee all the math teachers in the building and do things with what classes they teach and textbooks and all that kind of stuff. I'm also the webmaster. Do I have any web people in here? Any nerdy types? Okay, I'm the only one. That's all right. Personal information about myself. I do have 3 children, and you might say, well, Mr. Allen, so that's my wife, Meg. That's my son, Alec. He's 20, and that's my daughter, Maya. She's 18. Well, just this last spring, my wife and I had a baby. So I have a little son. His name's Henry. So I'm pretty excited about that. He just started to crawl. So you guys, anybody in here know how to crawl? Thank you for the laugh. Appreciate that. I graduated from Southport High School. Wah, wah. I got does anybody know what that stands for? BS. Okay, that's Bachelor of Science in Math for Purdue. And I just got my master's degree in math. And then, did you guys hear that I'm a bodybuilder? Did you guys know that? Let's see if this actually works. Boom! Yeah. There it is. That was my last competition, which I won. I started competing in 1990, and that was my last show was 2018. That was a Mr. Natural Indianapolis. Or Natural, yeah, I think it was Mr. Natural Indian. Anyways, I do bodybuilding stuff. Okay. Is that it? Good. That's it. Quick. Okay, so Emily, how are you? I think she's right here. Is she in the middle? Number 13. All right, so now let's go ahead and get out of this. So get into your Canvas, if you would, please. You guys are already in your Canvas page. If you don't have your Chromebook out, you can use your phone. But I'm going to try to show you some things that are important for you guys to know. And I'm going to try to watch my time over here. So we get out at 8:42. 8:42. So actually, I think we're in good shape. I think we got plenty of time. If you have any questions as we go along the way, just raise your hand and we'll stop and we'll try to take care of them. So these are the different classes that I'm teaching, but I think we're doing geometry. I hope that's my class. Okay, good. You should, when you go into Canvas and you go into geometry, it should hopefully look kind of like that. Does it look like that? All right, so So this is the most important place for you guys to know to get to if for some reason we go full remote or if you're out or whatever. I need you guys to know how to get to this page, which I'm sure you guys, all your teachers are doing this. It's got my email address right there. So if you need to email me, please do. It's also got the phone number here. Obviously, I think email is probably what most of you would want to do. Most of you aren't going to try to call me up. And by the way, it goes to voicemail anyways. But there's my information. What I'm really interested in showing you right now is the syllabus. And so this syllabus is kind of your one-stop guide to what does Mr. Allen expect us to be able to do. And I'm not going to read through all of this to you right now, but I do want to highlight some things. Did anybody see do any of you guys have access to Parent Square? Did you guys see my message yesterday? Okay, so I sent a message out to all the parents and students yesterday. So primarily I'm going to use Canvas, but occasionally I'll send, whoa, that was weird. I'm going to send some stuff out through Parent Squared, and it's going to be probably very general information. So that was just hopefully to give you guys a sense of what I look like because I put my picture on the Parent Squared thing, and then what the expectations were going to be for the class. Does anybody happen to recall from the Parent Squared message what I said we would do in terms of class this year that's different from other years? Okay, so this is important. Grab some chalk. You guys have probably already heard this term. But have you guys ever heard of this? Flipped teaching, flipped model. Anyone ever heard of flipped? Okay, so normally, like when you would come to a math class, like I don't know who your teacher was last year, and let's pretend this is before the whole COVID thing. Normally, you would come to class, and let's say you're coming to Mr. Allen's class. Mr. Allen would give you some notes or something, and we would work through the notes, and I would teach you how to do stuff. And then what would I do? Then I would give you homework or something, right? With flipped, so starting next week, not right now, but starting next week, what I'm going to do is I've already got videos posted, and I'll show you all this stuff in a minute. I've got activities, homework, and stuff like that, and extra videos. You're actually going to start doing this stuff on your own. Then when we come to class, so when will we be in class next week? You guys know? What day? Thursday, that's exactly right. Thursday, when you guys come to class, you're going to hopefully have as much of that done already, but Emily might be like, oh, Mr. Allen, I still don't understand how to do segment addition. So guess what I'm going to try to do Thursday? I'm going to try to help Emily understand how to do segment addition. So when it's called flipped, it means you guys are going to kind of wrestle with some of this stuff before class, and then when you come to class, you need to make sure you're bringing questions. Okay, this is very different than what you've probably experienced in the past. Okay, does that kind of make sense? All right, so anyway, so that was the deal on that. If you scroll down here a little bit, here's the timeline. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest. This is the first time I've taught geometry in several years. But guess what my absolute favorite class is to teach probably? Geometry. And the reason I love this class is we can do a whole lot of different things. In algebra, what do you pretty much do? Here's an equation, solve the equation. Okay, here's a worksheet, 20 equations, solve all the. With geometry, we can do all kinds of different things, so I like that. I'm not sure that we'll get all the way through quadrilaterals and polygons.
This message is for juniors. If you're a junior and you do not have a Chromebook, you may go downstairs across from the IMC to pick up a Chromebook. This is only for students who do not have a Chromebook, and you have to be a junior.
Okay.
Also, juniors, if you do not have a lanyard and ID, you need to go down by the auditorium and get your picture taken and ID. This message is for all juniors. Thank you.
Okay, so here are some suggestions that I'm giving you for, doing well in class. Obviously, it says textbook. Are you guys going to get a textbook in here? No, you're not going to get a textbook. I'm going to show you how to get it online today, okay? I'm going to encourage you not to have your cell phone out during class. Now, I see some of you guys got out. I don't mind if it's sitting on your desk. Mine's sitting on my desk. I just don't want to see you like playing on it and things like that. If that becomes an issue, then I'll talk to you about it. But honestly, I haven't had an issue with students using their phones too much. But when you're in class, I hope that you're going to be interested in learning what's going on in here. Anyway, there are some other things here you can look at. Student behavior. Guys, I expect you to come to class with your Chromebook, and I expect you to come, hey, I'm going to try to learn something from Mr. Allen. I'm pretty high octane, excited, enthusiastic. I know some of you might be thinking, oh man, I'm going to have to deal with that first thing in the morning. Yeah. But hopefully some of my excitement and enthusiasm for math will maybe you'll get a little excited and enthusiastic about math too. But I expect you to come to class prepared to learn, okay? So that's an attitude thing. Grades comprised of three things basically. Homework quizzes, okay? So most of the time I'm probably going to give you homework, but there might be sometimes we do some homework quizzes because I have to align with what the other teachers are doing as well. We'll talk about homework in a minute. That's going to be 25% of your grade. That is what we call a formative assessment. In other words, you're going to do like a homework next week. You're going to get 25%. And basically, guys, if you do your homework, guess what grade you're going to get on that homework? You're going to get a good grade, right? Because you're just going to do the homework. So that should not be any stressful. This should not be stressful, okay? But I do need you to get it done. I've already unlocked it. I'm going to show you in just a second the assignment for next week. And you have until next Friday to get it done. That's August 14th. Today is August 6th. So that's over a week, okay? Quizzes, we'll talk about that. Your first quiz isn't next week or the week after that, I think. I think it's the week after that even. We'll talk about that. That'll be 25%, and I think we're going to try to do those on Canvas. Tests, I'm not sure how we're doing those yet. I don't know if we're going to try to do those on Canvas or if we're going to do paper and pencil. Tests are worth more. Those are more of a summative type assessment. Those are going to be 50%. Okay? So homework, quizzes, and then tests. Final exam is supposed to be 15%, but they're talking about changing that to 20. I don't know what they're doing yet, so I'll let you know when I find out. That's why I put a little note this may change. Okay, textbook, we'll talk more about that in a minute. Remote learning adjustments, basically I'll just read this part because I think it's important. If school is switched to all remote learning, then extra accommodations are going to be made for, in other words, what I'm telling you is if we go full remote, I'm going to try to be as lenient as I can to help you guys be successful. Okay, probably not to the extent we did last spring, because last spring pretty much kids could do whatever they wanted and their grade couldn't lower. I'm not talking about that, but what I am talking about is I can't remember your name. Is it Vaughn? Vaughn. So let's say Vaughn gets sick, and he's real sick for like a week, and he's like, Mr. Allen, I just can't do my work. Can I get some extra time? I'm going to give Vaughn some extra time, right? If Vaughn's sick, I'm not going to be like, Vaughn, I don't care if you're sick. You got to get all this work done. Okay, so here's grades. You guys are probably not surprised by this. If you're in the 90s, you're an A, 80s, B, etc. But look over here where it says extra help. If you want to get extra help from Mr. Allen, you could stay after school if you can. Now, some of you might say, well, Mr. Allen, I can't stay after school. Okay, well, then that's not an option. You could come to advisory. Now, do you guys know what an advisory period is? It's Blue 63. It's just this year they're going to call it advisory. You can sign up for Blue 63 and come see me during Blue 63. Also, remote hours. So, again, if we go, like Wednesday is supposed to be a virtual day, you could get help with me then. Or if we go full remote, you can get help with me at that time, which I'll post on Canvas as well. There's also Ask Rose, which is a free resource through the Rose-Hulman Institute for Technology. Khan Academy, and of course you could just, how many of you ever Googled or used YouTube to find videos on how to do something? I mean, you do it all the time. I do it all the time. I had a teacher yesterday asking me how to do something on the Chromebook. I didn't know how to do it, so I Googled it, and I found out in like a minute. So there's a lot of information there. Does this kind of make sense? Yes, sir.
Oh, I just said I fixed my AC to something on Google.
Yep, Google and YouTube. So that's the syllabus. That's kind of my expectations for you guys, okay? All right, so now what do we need to do now? Okay, we're going to try to get to the online textbook. So let's go ahead and go to, I think it's modules. The first thing that I want to get set up with you is the following, is this Math Excel. Before we do that, what I want you to do is I want you to click on this guy here, and I'm hoping that this will come up. Okay. By the way, does it with the lights being on, can you guys see this clearly, or would it help if I turn the light off? Would you turn one light off, yes. Joe, just real quick? Try the other one. Flip that one back on. Does that help, or does it not matter? Doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead. Flip that one off and flip the first one there you go. You guys need to know this information, okay, before we do anything, because the video I'm getting ready to show you, I didn't make the video, okay? We might need some help with this. So obviously the course name is gonna be geometry. The course ID or course code is right here, and you guys know how to copy and paste stuff. That's helpful. Here's the access code. Now right here, guess what your username is gonna be? It's going to be your student ID. Do you know your student ID? I think it's 6 digits, isn't it? 6 numbers? Okay, good. Your password, the password that you're going to set up for yourself, I want you to use your lunch code and then capital PMHS. Now, why am I trying to help you set your password? I'm trying to help you set your password so that if you ever get locked out, I will be able to figure out what your password is. Okay? So I would encourage you to do that, and then this is the book we're going to. So the main things you're going to need is these 4 things right here: the course ID, the access code. You need to know your username, which is no big surprise. It's your student ID, and then your password is going to be your lunch code and PMHS. Okay? Does everyone keep that kind of in mind? Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you a video. And by the way, if you're at home watching, you can do this as well.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Riggenbach, and I am here to show you how to get into mathexcelforschool.com. The first thing that you guys are going to need to do is go to mathexcelforschool.com. Okay? Once you're there, you are going to need to register.
Okay. Go to mathexcelforschool.com. Please do not put an S on schools. If you do, it goes to like something and it'll tell you have a virus and you need to don't put that on there. So go to mathexcelforschool.com. So that's where you need to go.
Do you want to use my Chromebook so you can set your Math Excel up with everybody else? I'll bring it to you.
You can use your phone.
Oh yeah,
You can use your phone too.
That'll work.
You guys okay on that? You got Math Excel? Okay. How many of you have used Math Excel before? Okay, so some of you if you've already got an account, this is going to be super easy. If you don't have an account, you're going to have to set one up. Does everyone kind of look like they're on that webpage?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Please tell me to stop if you need me to stop.
So we're going to click register as a student.
You're going to register as a student.
You're going to need your email, and it says it is best to use your school email address. So please use your school email address. The other thing is you'll need an access code. I will give you that access code. And then the last thing you'll need is your course ID. I will give you that as well. Okay? And then we're going to hit register. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to type in is our course ID. So if we look at this document.
Okay, ignore this. This is for his class.
Into it. And then you
guys are using.
So if you're in second period, for instance.
Hold on. Let me get out of this for a second. Remember, I had you guys get this information right here. So what are you typing in right now? Are you doing the course ID or the access code? The course ID. So that's that first big thing. So that's what he's talking about here. Now, their course ID actually is, I think it might be the same, but that's okay.
Then you would just copy the code. So we'll copy it, and then we will paste it in.
Okay. Oops, I'm going to go back just a little bit. Not that far. There you go. So you are entering the course ID, the course code, into this box. Does that make sense? I know you might be saying, Mr. Allen, I'm not that dumb, but I just want to make sure everyone's okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Then we will paste it in, and we'll go from there. Now, you might have an account already, or you might need to create an account. If you already have an account, then simply type in your username and your password.
If you already have an account, log in.
Should be your student ID, Your password should be your lunch code followed by a capital PMHS. If you had Algebra 1 last year, several of the teachers used Math Excel, and so you already have one and you can get in. If you do not, then you're going to need to create a new account. So I'm going to hit create. I'm going to start by typing in my school address. Okay, so I have lregenbach at perryschools.org. Now, my username, remember I said I wanted to be my ID, so mine is
Do I need to stop? Are we doing okay?
7.
Are you doing okay?
Okay, now my password, I want to use my lunch code.
Okay, so again, let's see if I can. Again, here's the code.
Mr. Allen, did you say that's in modules?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go back to the module, it's right here, login information.
On theirs it says, this page has been disabled for this course.
Oh, really?
Get in the modules. So maybe we could.
Okay, hold on. I can fix that. Maybe I thought I released this.
Then you guys will be able to copy and paste.
Guys, I apologize. It's 8 a.m., isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna unlock it right now. Guys, I'm sorry. That would help. Can you get to it now?
Let me refresh.
I set it to unlock at 8 a.m., so I figured we'd be good, but maybe not. Can you get to this now?
No, we still can't get to it.
Can you guys see week 1? Okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, maybe it's because this is blacked out. Let me see if I can do that.
We can get into assignments and the syllabus.
Hold on. How about now?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna unlock both of them, guys. I apologize. I'm new. I'm kind of learning this.
Excuse the interruption. This message is for sophomores.
Sorry, guys. You weren't doing anything wrong. I messed
You
it
need to
up.
go downstairs across from the IMC to pick up your Chromebook. If you do not have a lanyard picture ID, it is time for you to go down to the auditorium foyer and get your picture taken and get your ID. This is for sophomores only.
Yep. So you'll need to watch this video and do it later, okay?
You're gonna create one.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need me to hold anything.
Should we go back to the video now, Joe, or are they okay?
Yeah, I think everybody's just kind of chugging and plugging their
Okay,
info in
that's
now.
fine. Sorry, guys.
Followed by a capital PMHS. So let's say that my lunch code is 98765, and then capital PMHS. And again, I type it in 98765, capital PMHS. And my first name is Levi Riggenbach. We're going to have to answer this question. What is my father's middle name? If you don't know that one, then go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so my father's middle name is Edwin. We need to agree to both of these, and then you are ready to create your account. Now, sometimes your username might already exist.
Okay, so the next part, now that we're into Math Excel, this is Math Excel is where you guys are going to mainly do your homework. You can also access your textbook in there too. But I want to show you another thing. Go ahead and click on this login information for Pearson textbook. So now I'm just showing you how to get to your textbook if that's all you want to do. Okay? Your username is going to be your student ID, and it's going to be at Perry-TX. The password is Euclid. Does anybody happen to know who Euclid is? You ever heard that word before? He's a famous mathematician. He's actually the most famous geometer of all time. That's why I picked that. So now what you're going to do is this, and there's a video that we could watch. It's right here. I'm going to skip the video if you guys don't mind because it's super easy. Go back to the township webpage. Township webpage. Now, go to, I think it's called Resource Portal up here at the top. You guys are probably familiar with Resource Portal. Then over here, see where it says online textbooks? We are using the Pearson textbook. Oops. So click on Pearson. And guess what you're going to type up here? You're going to type in your username, your student ID, and then at Perry-TX. And oh, by the way, what's the password? It should be Euclid. And I'll spell it again for you. It's E-U-L-C. I've got dyslexia. EUCLID, all lowercase. And then hopefully that'll get you in once you hit sign in. Now yours won't look probably like mine. It'll probably look different. It might look like this. It should maybe look, does it look kind of like this maybe? You might go to this book right here. Does it look like that or something? Mine might look different because I'm the teacher. Did you get it? Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Now your username. There you go. No. Go back. It's got to be at Perry -TX, and then type in Euclid for your password.
Have an access code, and then go back to the module, and you can find the access code. You should be good.
Awesome.
Did you get in on everything? You know what you're doing. Okay. There you go.
Okay, good. I think we're in there. All right. So last thing here, and then I'm going to show you guys a video. I want to come down here to this. This is your work for next week. This is not due until next Friday. I'm going to unpublish that. I have got a video that I made that you guys can watch. Here's the notes for that video if you want the notes. Then here's another video I made and the notes. Then this is the homework you're going to do. And I'm going to click on homework because that's what people are really interested in. Like, well, what's the homework, Mr. Allen? You're going to go here and it says complete the assignment. You should already have an assignment in Math Excel. And I think it's 10 problems or something. It's not a lot. You got a whole week to do it. Okay? But guess what you're going to do next week when you come to class? You're going to bring me questions. You're going to say, Mr. Allen, I understand. Let me go back to the module. Mr. Allen, I understand points, lines, and planes. That's easy. I got that. That's simple. I remember doing that in middle school. But I don't understand segment addition. Okay, fine. Let's work on segment addition. Okay? Does that make sense? And then down here at the very bottom, I've got, you see all these things that say extra? Do you have to do those? No. But let's say, and I'm going to pick on Emily because Emily just walked back in here. Let's say Emily doesn't understand what collinear points are. Guess what she could do after watching my video and trying to do some of the problems? She could watch this video. Oh, by the way, do you guys know how to deal with this when this pops up? What do you do with this? There's like a thing, I think, here. Oh, wow. There it goes. And then the video will pop up. You guys know how to unblock stuff on your Chromebooks, right? Does this make sense? Are we good? Okay, I'm going to stop this. Now I need to show you guys a video. So I'm going to stop that.